because I had another piece that was just between the comforter, and these cloaks, there's the one over there, and these, I decided to incorporate this into my between the comforter piece, because somebody bought the other between the comforter, and yet I love the idea of it, because I'm interested in the energy that's created as you walk through there. And here I'll walk through there, here, and you'll see it's an Afghan carpet on the floor, and as I walk through there, see how it moves? Now, see, I love that. And in fact, if you sit around the gallery, you'll find that all these pieces move. See the cocoons moving a little bit? I like all that movement in my work. And you can see, now these were part of a show that was in the Portland Museum a couple of 3 years ago. And, but I've incorporated them now into this. And you know, I don't have a single large paper left in my studio. It looks barren now because most of them are right here. All right, and this is all mica, and this is dark black mica that I find mainly in Thompson. There's lots of black mica there, and I like the kind of pattern we have there. So I want everybody to walk through. Yeah.
How do you get the mica so thin?
Oh,
Does it peel off like that?
Yeah. Mica will separate. I take a palette knife and I can separate it into very thin little pieces. And so on. It's very accommodating with paper because it doesn't even bend. And, you know, see? This will even bend.
Do you do it all in small pieces and put them together in one big piece? Or how do you, because I think there's strips.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is all made from embedding, and then I put a sheet over it to hold it in.
And then the larger pieces, it almost looks like
That's the
they're
way I
small
do it.
strips. Yeah.
Yep. And all these things are made on a frame that's only this large.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see up here, here's a piece called my fan. Got a nice little tassel here from Italy. And see, I can pull this up and let it go, and it's like an oriental fan. You feel the breeze there? Mm-hmm. Oh, fabulous. That's what it's supposed to do. Anyway. And you can see how I made the whole sheet with little squares.
Yeah. Yes.
And over here, though, I put symbols in the square. I left this kind of plain. The fan, I left rather, you'd see that there. See, sometimes an artist, like these are actually shown at the museum. Nobody bought them at the museum. So I'm left with them, right? And they're big and dominate, so I have to incorporate them into another piece. Like, look at this. And it's moving around there. Everybody's got to walk through there. And we're going to come over to this spot.
Between the cloak comforters.
How's it going? Is it all going all right? Everybody having a good time?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I would like everybody to have a good time. But, you know, this angle makes it interesting. So on. He's an artist here in Portland who spotted me at an opening and came up to me and said, Richard, would you mind if I did your portrait? And I said, fine. I said, I have no money to buy it, but if you want to do it, fine. And so he came up to my Brunswick studio and talked about an hour or two. And then we went out and he took about 60 photos. And a month later, he calls me up on the phone. He says, Richard, I finished your portrait, and I'd like to bring it up and show you. And so, this is what he brought in my studio. It practically knocked me down to to see this, but I thought this would be a nice addition in this show. And besides, I'm helping a friend out, right? Helping Bill King get a little exposure here from the show, and I think it's a great example of photorealism for any of you art students. This is what I assume is photorealism, and so that was interesting. This big piece in back here has Mayan windows shapes. Somebody asked me about the cross the other day, and that's found in Palenque. That shape's found in Palenque, as well as the T shape. Now the T shape I also found in India, because the openings of the huts they live in southern India have that T shape, and they use the sides as kind of shelves. And then there's a doorway there. So I'm always looking for connections to various things like that. This is all Greek paper, language and so on, and these rocks are all from Greece. When I lived there, I used to work in this country a lot with wood and weathered wood and so on, and I went to Greece and was no weathered wood in Greece particularly, and but they did have marble yards like we have lumber yards, and so I'd go shopping there to find a few pieces of marble. This is from Venice, and once again it's showing off my lace papers here with a palace in the background. And I have a study for that in my journal of Italy over there.
What's the name of the palace?
Any palace. No particular palace. You know, most of my things don't have a particular thing. That Festos disc is only this large, and it's found in Crete. And I made it much larger when I did that. And it's held up very well. It's about 35 years old or so. And it's held up very well. I don't generally do that circular kind of thing, but maybe I did in the cocoon over there. Oh, maybe it's a little connection.
What did you call it, Festus?
Hmm?
What did you call the circle?
Festos disc.
Festus
Festos is a place in Crete. It's up in the mountains. It was a palace contemporary with Gnosis, different parts. And they found this disc here. It's like this, and I just love the shape of it and so on. So, and my kids were here at the opening, and they said, "Dad, we lived with this for such a long time, and look at we're finding it right here in this show."
Yeah.
All right, so.